Alright, we are back for the back nine of round two. I'm joined by Ashley Wiedner as we are here at Pine Rivers Park for the Queensland Open presented by Disconnection and Disc Doctor.
How are you, Kyle?
Oh, I'm great. After watching that front nine, I'm well and truly ready for some good disc golf around this back nine. We've had a couple of hot starts to the front nine, so what they can manage.
Yeah, let's kick into hole 10. So slightly elevated tee pad here. I'd say we're about 10 to 15 feet up. It won't show on camera, but we're heading straight down for a par 3, 141 metres with some guardian trees around the basket and a very, very slidey green that's basically dirt or compacted dirt and dead leaves. So players will be looking to put it out, just get it out into the fairway and try and slide it up in between those trees.
Yeah, really, I think any of these players will be happy with just crashing into those trees because those trees are about where edge of circle is. So as long as you end up there, you'll have some sort of putt.
Yeah, Ryan looks like he's gone a bit long there.
Bit long, bit left, maybe about pin high, just...
Oh, there he is. Oh, okay.
This amount of turn looks great from Austin.
Yeah.
Hopefully it just fights back enough. That looks pin high right, so you'll hopefully have a look through some trees.
Up nice right. Yeah. Dan taking a late left turn there. He should have a long putt.
Blake again flipping that Venom over a bit more than he would hope so, and getting a bit lucky there, I think, kicking out of those trees.
Little touch approach up and into the green for a putt there.
Yeah, as we see here from Ryan, really if you're not inside those trees, you've got quite an obstructed look, but there are definitely avenues here, so we'll see what Dan can manage.
So you can see here there's a sort of left and right avenue. Tried to float it up around to the right there and hyzer it in. Austin's got a beautiful avenue to the basket there and dunks it in for that edge of circle birdie or C2 birdie.
Yeah, great stuff there from Austin, continuing that front nine momentum and trying to put a move on this back nine. Blake here to tidy up a par, hoping to stop the damage a bit.
And stop it he does. Very nice putt. Slightly pinched off by that tree.
Yeah, it took his time over that putt, but it was all worth it. Adjusting to that straddle stance and smashing it in.
Ryan taking his par there. A lovely little clean up from Dan. Hole 11, Kyle.
Absolutely. A 220-metre par 4, probably one of the hardest holes on this course. You've got two avenues off the tee, either the left forehand or turnover gap, or the right gap with that mandatory. You're looking to push up towards that red tee pad, right where the two lines meet, and give yourself about 130-metre look into the basket through another corridor of trees.
It sounds easy when you put it like that.
Easy this hole is not, as Austin finds some early foliage there and drops down, and really anything early is a struggle to save par. Require a couple of good shots for sure.
Absolutely, it's too It's two big shots and a nice approach even for par. So it is a very challenging par 4, this one. But excited to see Ryan gets around with a forehand and puts himself in a nice spot there. He's going straight up to the basket. Dan taking that wide backhand round.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, lovely.
Pushes the length perfectly and just skips back into that straight gap, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't get around that corner enough, you can really pinch yourself off for that second shot. I say from walking the course, not from actually being able to do it, as Blake puts himself in the middle of the fairway for an approach.
Ooh, pushes a bit too far left there and catches some trees. That's going to be a very difficult scramble from there for Austin.
Ryan from this middle of the fairway position.
That's the second
Ryan's
time today he's
bouncing.
just pushed that Halo Destroyer a bit too straight.
Blake looks to pump it straight down the middle and catches a tree. He's got himself some distance and he's still in the middle of the fairway up there. Dan in a lovely position.
Navigates all the trees and skips past the basket.
Wow.
Whew.
So Dan's in a beautiful position there for a putt.
Speaking of wow.
And Austin, wow.
From that angle,
so he's
that
up there
is
for 3.
a great result.
Yeah. Ryan slides himself up there too. Yeah, there's. It doesn't look like there's a lot of space on this fairway for shot shaping on camera, and there's actually not. So those shots from Dan and from Austin up this fairway to shape it in there like that is incredibly impressive. There's Dan for a rare birdie on this hole. Cans it.
That's pretty awesome. This hole, as most of the local Queenslanders would know, was formerly a par 5, so really just puts an emphasis on exactly how good that 3 is.
Yeah. Ryan catches the cage there, hits it a bit left and probably a bit low. Austin to save par, and it stays in. He's not trusting these baskets at all yet, is he?
No. A great par save nonetheless. Blake just pushing it a bit high side, maybe a tiny grip lock there.
Very nice. Yeah, so Dan taking one of the only birdies on the day on that hole. The other one coming from Leith Brodie, so shout out there, incredible birdie on this hole 11 that played half a stroke over its par on the day. So yeah, nice to see a birdie on it. Hole 12. So 234 metres, par 4. We're looking to get straight out of these trees off the tee pad and bite off as much distance as you can, really, for that approach shot into the green, which you can see up the top there is tucked in by those trees. So get out there any way you can. And they're probably looking to get up past or around the red tee basket, which you'll see in the middle of the fairway, for that approach in to the green, which is elevated slightly and guarded by some trees. So
yeah, look, we've just come from one of the hardest holes on the course, and we're straight back into another one.
Absolutely.
Dan going roller here, just not quite getting the flip on it he would have liked, and finding that left side rough.
It's not out of bounds, but it's going to be a fun lie for him down there.
Yeah, maybe suffering from a bit of natural OB. We'll see what he's got.
Yeah, Austin getting it up past that red basket nicely. Nice safe distance there.
That's if it misses that tree, or it just catches some low-hanging branches, but well past that basket, so
It's got enough muscle on it to push through that tree, which is good to see as Blake.
bit of a slip there from Blake on that tee pad and just skies it a bit into that early tree.
Blake really pushing it down there on this second shot. Getting a bit left there, but a nice approach in from the left-hand side, the locals told me during practice days. So let's see if Blake can capitalise on that. Dan from his riverbed position. Yeah.
Skips it around low and gets some forward advancement, which I think he'll be fairly happy with. Austin here with one of his S-line FDs, the turnover. Sneaks well up into the circle there.
Yeah.
That'll be an elusive birdie putt.
Yeah, the distance isn't the problem for these guys on this hole, is it, Kyle? It's the approach. It's just, Park getting lucky and Park getting sliding enough up there to give yourself a putt, and that doesn't have a tree in the way at the same time.
Yeah, Dan really showing that there are some clear lines there as he turns that putter over into the circle as Blake just hits a tree and rolls away. That's quite unfortunate. As you hear him comment on there.
Ryan with a long putt. Doesn't roll away. Yeah, Blake's hit a little low there too by the looks.
Beautiful putt there from Austin.
Lovely.
Let's take another look at that as he takes quite an elusive birdie on this hole. Really a confident looking putt after the day he's had, and finds a dead center chains, which is probably a nice relief for Austin.
Yeah, the hole playing at par on the day, this one. So 6 birdies on it and playing at par even for the rest of the field. So stroke on most of the field there from Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. A great stroke to take, and a hard-earned one at that. Now, hole 13, we've got a 99-meter par 3. Now, this straight line on the graphic does not do this hole justice at all. We've got a couple of lines through this tight fairway. Most of the right-hand players want to play either a flip-up or a baby flex through the right gap, but really I've seen a lot of creative lines on this hole, and whatever works, works.
Yeah, there's plenty of lines through there for whatever you want to throw. You've got that OB right, which shouldn't come into it, but I have seen it happen. As Austin catches early there, I think.
Dan, this looks beautiful. Just a baby flip up down that right side, and skips right through our catch cam and finds himself in the circle. Ryan also finding that center tree that Austin found. Also kicking left, so we'll see what the two of them have. Blake doing similarly.
So
that's a very well navigated second shot there.
Yeah, and he's got through beautifully.
Ryan also finding a nice gap through, and
Mm.
we'll have Austin here with this step putt approach.
Yeah, puts himself in a great spot.
Confident putt there from Blake, saving that par. Really a good scramble from what was a bit of a disastrous early tree kick.
Oh.
Just sneaking across the face there for Dan.
And Austin still relief that's going in the basket there. You're putting well, Aussie.
Ryan also managing to save his par, and what didn't look very much like a par frame at the beginning of this hole is, well, ended up that way.
Yeah. As we take it to hole 14, so there's some early trees to navigate here again. We're not out of the woods yet. Trees off the tee, a couple of gaps you can take. Most players you'll see taking that right-hand gap and easing it out onto the fairway for an approach. And then an elevated basket up on a ridge towards the end. Where you do risk the rollaways, but you do have some guardian trees at the back that if you gain, you can use as a backstop to keep yourself in the circle there as Austin steps up.
Going roller and just gets such a bad kick there. Think he still made it through this clump of trees, but definitely not what he had in mind there.
Yeah, he's just popped out near the front there. Yeah, looking like a roll or two. Looks like he's caught something there as well.
Well, Ryan doing well not to find the OB there after a very right kick.
Blake taking his roller line out here again. Getting it, a little further right down that fairway. And just double checking it's OB there, but we're safe, quite inside. Ryan.
Holy dooly.
What's he?
Oh, I want another look at that. That is... Oh boy. So blocked out with only a flex line, basically. Somehow clips the tree on his way through, keeps pushing, and then skips up the start of the slope there. From what was basically bogey territory to a C1 putt for birdie, that's nuts.
That's incredible. Yeah, Dan having to more or less pitch out there and try and bite off as much as he can. Looking to take that wide line, slide it up, and he does.
Yeah, it looked great. Looked like it was going to be better than it was. Just got a bit of a dead skip there.
Yeah, it's very, it was underwater a few weeks before the tournament, apparently, this course. And that area there especially, very close to the creek, so still a lot of standing water and very soft ground up there. So it looks like it may have just caught some of that or a rogue tyre track or something.
Dan pitches up nicely. Baby flip-up putter. Leaves him with basically a tap-in for his par. So close there from Austin. Good birdie there for Blake, getting back on track.
Yeah, one of only 4 on the day, so a good birdie to get there for Blake. Another hole playing at its par.
I'm quite surprised by that, actually, compared to hole 12, having more birdies on hole 12 than on hole 14. But I guess with spit outs like Rhinos just then,
Yeah.
couple of birdies gone awry. Hole 15 now. We've got a par 3, 102 metres. The key word with this hole is tunnel shot. There's ceiling, there's left, there's right. If you've got 100 metres of dead straight power, now is the time to use it. Most players will eventually get caught up in the left side if they're pushing there before the OB lake, but just in case there's some OB out there.
Yeah, there's really not much room to do anything else on this hole other than go dead straight.
And we saw Blake do exactly that yesterday, and we'll see if he can replicate it here.
Beautiful off the tee. And
wait a second, I swear I saw this
well,
thing yesterday.
I mean, he hasn't replicated it, has he? It was on the other side yesterday.
Austin, just a bit too much turn on that FD and kicks out into the fairway, so he'll have some sort of look there. That right side really isn't too friendly, often with a bit of a nasty scramble back into the fairway.
The old stamping the towel technique.
Dan just taking the Matty Oram approach to tee-pad maintenance. Bit of a pantomime there.
Didn't work.
Just pushing it left, and I mean, as he said, dry the tee pad all you like. That's not going to fix that one. Ryan pumps one straight
Not to be
up the
outdone.
gut. No. Yeah, Dan left with a really tough scramble here, and that's just about all he could manage. Should have a putt from there.
Great layout. Hold on.
Yeah, Aussie pitches it up nicely. Dan with a, we'd say a, 14 metre, 13 metre putt. Ryan for birdie and what?
There's
and
no
very,
way.
Yeah, very nasty roll away there.
Let's have another look at exactly how that happened.
So we've hit dead centre.
Just finds the pole and comes straight back out.
Yeah.
Insult to injury with that roll away. No.
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Dan taking it very, very cautiously for his bogey there. Bogey? That was a par. Apologies, Dan.
That was a bogey for
It was a bogey. I was right the first time.
Yeah. And everyone else just tapping in. Blake blending in with the others, but taking the lone birdie there.
Hole 16. So straight shot, blind off the tee for the most part. Is the OB round to the left. So the danger here is hyzering out or skipping something OB long of the green. It does approach pretty quickly, but you've got some guardian trees to contend with and a couple of routes into the basket, either flex forehand route or a big long backhand sliding up there.
Yeah, I think Blake trying to channel a bit of the previous shot and just punch this buzz straight at it.
Do it.
That was a great run at the ace there. Just a little bit long, maybe 2 or 3 meters, but otherwise a great shot there.
Yeah, Austin taking that right route, and looks like he's caught a tree there.
Yeah, this is a bit sawed
Dan
off.
doesn't like it out of the hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's found that OB over there. Again, it approaches very quickly and really doesn't take much of a bad shot, even just an average shot with a bit of an odd kick. It's, yeah, quite a tough one. The miss is definitely right.
Well, I had a local swear to me that even on a dead calm, still day, there'd be a right to left wind on this hole when you face it up on the tee. No matter what else is going on, Ryan just pushes that beautifully through those trees for a putt. And it's good to see old man Hart on the bag there. He was unwell too on the night before the tournament, so good to see you there, Chris. Up and about, mate.
Austin framed up here for his birdie putt. Oh, that looked in for all money and just phased through the basket.
Yeah, Blake takes no chances on that birdie there.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row there for Blake, so he's making a move in these last 5 holes.
Austin just a bit low there. And Ryan in for birdie as well. Ryan gets one back on hole 15 there. There's Austin. Puts it in, and Dan also.
Hole 17, the shortest hole on the course, sitting at 72 metres or 236 feet. It's a par 3 with not much to it. It's a circle 1 island with a blind tee shot, so really have to pick a disc and rely on your judgment here. The green slopes from front to back, so anything with too big of a skip will be a fair chance to find that hazard. So let's see how they manage it.
Yeah, it's really looking in your bag and thinking, what does this and how much do I trust it? Throwing off this tee. As Blake goes to that Raptor again, I believe.
And I think that just sneaks inside of circles, so...
Yeah, he stood up nicely there.
Ryan with that Crystal Flex zone. And I think that's also somehow snuck into circle. Now that's exactly what you want there from Austin.
Yeah. I could ask for a replay there, and you could slot in yesterday's shot from Austin, I believe, and it would look exactly the same. As Dan's, I think our spotter had to run a bit to find Dan's, and we weren't quite sure.
Safe after all of that. It looked long off the tee, so it was a bit of a mystery to the card on the tee pad.
Yeah, actually, I think was Dan's quite. Can't quite see it on the green there. As Ryan goes a bit low. That tricky downhill putt. Yeah, that's right. Dan's was well in, and our spotter wasn't even looking to be asked if it was in there or not. As Dan goes a bit low.
Oh, Blake, 4 from 4. Putting a real move on in this back stretch. Thanking the basket for its service on his way through.
Ryan with some sort of a comebacker here. Here we are.
Makes it look easy. As Austin taps in his birdie.
Hole 18. All right, so par 3, 120 metres. We're throwing down into a valley here with trees on your left and some trees up on the right, sort of guarding the green from anyone that wants to take that backhand hyzer line. into the green there. So most players will be looking to take the forehand or backhand straight up, get it onto that green for a putt. We've got a slightly uphill putt onto the green too, so risk of rollaways there as Blake steps up to the tee.
Yeah, taking his ESP Venom here. Our T-pad cameraman learned his lesson from yesterday and swapped sides. Oh,
And yeah, in a run he'll give himself a putt. Beautiful. I see this forehand line here from Austin.
beautiful amount of turn there.
And yes, he's corrected, or he's made the correction from yesterday. We'll say where he left it just a little bit wider than he would have liked. He's inside the circle for a putt there. Ryan takes it wide. Gonna push through those pesky trees and doesn't by the look of it.
And here, just a bit shorter, but skips forward nicely, and we'll have edge of circle look there.
So yeah, one of the trickiest parts about this putt is the gallery that tends to build on this hole. You'll see off to Dan's right there as he puts it in for them. Yeah, and they appreciate it.
Lost the mini,
player
lost
in
the
a tournament,
disc.
bar four.
It doesn't matter. He's on his way.
Yeah, so quite a bit of banter coming from the gallery. Ooh, is that Victoria's Dave Perry sitting there watching on?
Ooh,
Yeah.
as Blake and Ryan finish off their threes. Pretty decent round from our card as the back nine. Blake got quite warm through those back 5 holes, unfortunately not cashing in on that birdie on 18, but very solid round. But the story of the day, Ash, Austin.
Yeah, what a round. What a round.
Yeah.
Stays relatively clean.
So with his hot round today, Austin moves up to the lead card, joined by Paddy Robinson, Jade Brady, and Aaron Morton. And then who will we be seeing tomorrow, Ash?
Look, I'm looking forward to it. We get to see Dan Frost again. I'm really looking forward to seeing Reese Wisniewski. Sorry, Reese, you taught me how to pronounce that on day one. After his hot round on day one, and he's backed it up again today. So we'll be seeing him tomorrow, along with, well, Mr. Disc Golf, Tim Bowen, and Blake Houston again. So should be a great card to watch tomorrow. With players are only getting better at this course, I feel, getting used to it. And if we have some still conditions tomorrow, plenty of chances to push that 7-stroke buffer there, as we saw today.
Absolutely. Tune in to find out.
All right. Thanks, Kyle. We'll see how it all shakes out tomorrow. Let's park it.